guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee. If you're new, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be another Manifestation Wednesday video, and it's all about the flow state. What the flow state is, the importance of it, as well as 5 steps into obtaining that flow state and getting into it. So what is the flow state? The flow state is the optimal mental state of consciousness where you feel and perform your best. This is the ultimate state of just being totally engaged and present. The ego is completely dropped. You have no consciousness of what's going on around you, and you are fully conscious of only that activity that you're performing. You're completely involved, you're super focused, super energetic, and fully involved in the process, and you're enjoying it. There's a sense of timelessness, which basically means you lose track of time because you're just so fully immersed in that activity. So what is the importance of flow state? There are so many different benefits of becoming in that state of flow, and one of them is that you are so focused, you have higher quality, higher performance, and you overall have higher productivity because you are so involved in that one activity that you're in a single task state of mind rather than a multitask state of mind. You're giving 100% of your full conscious mental capacity to this activity, which also brings some sort of spiritual connection. You are so vividly aware of what you are doing, you're connected, alive, and you just feel this overwhelming sense of peace. So how do we get into this flow state? Well, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're choosing to do something that you love and something that's important to you, because if you don't love it or it's not important to you, you're going to be constantly thinking about when it's over. You're not going to enjoy the process, and your mind is going to be completely elsewhere rather than the task at hand. You're going to be focusing more on extrinsic rewards rather than intrinsic rewards, which is something that I recently talked about in my vlog if you guys watched, but it's something that I came across in the book The Happiness Equation. Intrinsic rewards is when you're doing something that internally brings you joy. You're doing the activity at hand for an intrinsic reward because you enjoy it, you love it, it's bringing something to you personally, rather than looking at it more as an extrinsic reward based activity where you get something out of it, because you're constantly in the mindset of obtaining that thing once the activity is completed. So your mind isn't even in the present moment. I'm not saying that you should never look at the extrinsic rewards, but there's something in doing it for yourself first. You have higher quality, higher performance, and higher engagement in the activity at hand because you're genuinely doing it because you love it. When you're focusing on extrinsic rewards first, you lose interest because your focus is no longer at the task at hand. It's on the post process, what you're getting from it after it's done. So your mindset is just on your thoughts rather than the activity, and you're not really fully engaged. This also kind of comes into play with the Ikigai, which is something, again, I've talked about. It's a journaling exercise, and it's how to find your purpose. I will leave it linked on the screen if you guys want to check it out, but it's basically doing something that you love, something that the world needs, something that you can get financial rewards from, and something that you really are good at. And when you find that you're doing an activity based on your Ikigai, that just fully puts the intrinsic rewards first because it is your purpose. If it's something that correlates to your Ikigai, it's something that you love and it's something that you're interested in doing, which means you will give full engagement. Not only putting the intrinsic rewards first, but you're getting extrinsic rewards as well. And when that's combined, you'll be easily thrown into that flow state. The second step is to create mindfulness when you are performing the task. And when I say mindfulness, I really mean just being present, being fully engaged when you are doing the activity. When you're in the flow state, you are fully present. You're focusing on all 5 of your senses. You're fully engaged and you're just letting it be as it is. You're not trying to change it, thinking about things, personalizing the experience. You're just so enwrapped in the moment that you're creating a mindful experience of being completely present. And that's kind of where timelessness comes into play, because you lose track of time. You're just so fully in the present. And the minute that your mind is drawn to things that aren't present, whether that's something in the future, whether that's something in the past, a distraction, a thought, you immediately exit that flow state because your mindset isn't in that moment. You are changing it up and you're switching directions. And then your mind starts to wander, and then you get consumed with your thoughts and overthinking and worrying and stressing, and you're not engaged in the work. So the third step is to challenge yourself, but not too hard. If the task at hand is something easy, it's not going to bring you any sort of challenge. So your thoughts are just going to be able to wander and you're going to be able to do the task, but you're doing it in a way that you're not engaging because it's just so simple and your mind can easily drift. But then when you are doing something that's too hard and challenging for you, your mind will wander over into stress and worry and frustration and anger. When you challenge yourself just a little bit, you are so enwrapped in getting it solved because you know deep down that you can get it solved, and you work really hard, and it kind of grabs you back into the present moment and you're fixing a problem. You're concentrating on the task at hand, but without the worry and stress that too hard of a challenge can bring to you. Another thing that you can do to challenge yourself is maybe switch up your routine. A lot of the times when we get too comfortable in our routine, our activities and tasks throughout the day become mundane. That brings nothing to us because we're so used to it that we're not really fully engaged in our routine. An article that I read actually stated that you can use the opposite hand when you're brushing your teeth. Can definitely help you become more present and aware because you're switching it up a little bit and you're challenging yourself, but it's not too hard and it's not impossible to do. So next time you brush your teeth, try using a different hand and see how more engaged you are in brushing your teeth, or switch up your route to work because you can be more engaged in what you're seeing. So the fourth thing is to limit environmental distractions. The distractions can be a lot of different things, whether that's technology, like your computer, social media, music. A lot of the times too, music can either bring distraction or help distract you. De-distract you. Depends on the music or what you prefer. Think about what place brings you the least distractions. When are you most unaware of your space and fully engaged in your work? That could be a coffee shop, that could be at your home, that could be on your bed, that could be in comfortable clothes. It's all personalized and it depends on what you prefer, and you kind of have to become more self-aware to understand where you feel the most comfortable. And just because somebody else has a certain way of increasing their productivity and getting into that flow state doesn't mean it's going to be the same for everyone. So for example, me, I like to be right there at my desk. I like to do it in the morning. I like my space to be clean because if it's not clean, that will easily distract me. I like it to be post-workout, post-healthy meal, because again, if I eat an unhealthy meal, that'll distract me and I'll start thinking and not feeling comfortable. And I just have this mindset where I can get into the flow state because I know myself and I know what works for me. Some people like to go to Starbucks and wear nicer clothes. I like to wear my PJs. It just helps me not become aware really of what I'm wearing, and I'm more comfortable in my PJs. But sometimes people aren't and they feel lazy and they want to watch TV when they're in PJs, and that's okay. So get dressed up and get into that flow state. The minute you become distracted, whether that's a simple thought, looking at your social media, looking at a text that just came through, being more present about how unclean your environment is, someone screaming in the background, the clothes that you're wearing, whatever it is, the minute you get distracted from the task that you're created for yourself, you're gonna exit that flow state because your mind drifts and wanders into something else. So creating a non-distracting environment for yourself is something that definitely helps in getting into the flow state. And the fifth and final step is to be aware of your time. Again, this can kind of correlate with distractions because time definitely plays an essence in mind and thoughts and wondering. For example, I like to do my tasks in the morning because that's the most aware that I am. I'm fully mindful and present. It's like a refreshed start for me. Some people like to do it at night. I also like to make sure that I don't have anything else planned. Usually when I have something planned or I have somewhere to be and I start doing a task, I don't really reach that flow state because I'm thinking about being somewhere or having a deadline. So having a clear space of time and flexibility of time definitely helps. So basically here, the flow state, if you can tell from all 5 of these steps, is just being present in what you're doing, but also love and have an interest in what you're doing. And when you're in that flow state, you just feel like there's nothing else in the world, and you look up the minute you finish and you're like, whoa, I just totally dove into that. I had no idea what was going on. You're just fully engaged, fully aware, and you're so unaware of everything else that's going on. It just feels like you in that task. And it's something that people do all the time in sports and activities, learning and growth, education. Like there's so many different things that you can use the flow state with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for requesting it, and I will see you guys all in a future video. Bye guys.